Hi guys, Billy back, and this time we're going to be looking at the 1/6 scale Hot Toys Spider-Man Anti-Ox suit by Hot Toys. Now, I got this for my birthday. It was a lovely gift from my wife, so I'm just super chuffed because I very rarely get like Hot Toys and things for my birthday and stuff like that. Mostly because they're just so damn expensive, so it was really great to be able to get this guy. And I have to say, honestly, this is a fantastic figure. It looks great, it poses okay, but yeah, I'm definitely glad I got the deluxe edition because it does have that really nice base. I sincerely regretted not buying the deluxe version of the stealth suit Spider-Man from Far From Home because of that Lava Man base that you got with him, and I was super gutted that I didn't do that because it just, I don't know, it really does tie that figure together something crazy. It looks fantastic. But this was one of my favourite suits from the Sony video game. My most favourite is the actual original suit he wears with the big white spider on the front. Loved that design. So when this suit appears in the game, I was like, oh my god, it's like that, but it's also got this sort of neon glow yellow effect, and I love, you know, sort of black and yellow mixed together on suits. Looks great. And this guy does actually have like a neon glow blacklight sort of effect with the yellow, so that's going to work really well as well, especially now that I've got a few neon techs. I can sort of mix them all together and make it look like a really cool display. Now, in terms of accessories, he does pretty much come with what you would expect. Nowadays it's almost part and parcel of the game that you get a whole set of these webs that come with absolutely every Spider-Man figure. It's become so prevalent that even the third-party unlicensed versions are coming with these webs, the exact same webs as well, which is okay. But I do wish that they would actually, you know, mix it up a little bit, because at the moment it's just getting a bit stale. I've got so many sets of these spider webs now that honestly, this funnel web spider thing, I've never used this on any of my figures. I know some people have, I never have, and I probably never will. So, you know, it would be nice to be able to get, if you are collecting Spider-Man, it would be nice to be able to get just a few different webs here and there that you can mix them up and, you know, do certain things. I think this web that he's holding now is actually the newest web that he's actually come with. And I think that was originally first come with, I think, Scarlet Spider, the Toy Fair exclusive from, was it 2019 or 2020? One of those years. But yeah, Scarlet Spider was the first one, I think, to come with that web. But now it comes with every, you know, figure that they do mostly. He also comes with a whole bunch of hands, including these slightly sort of like relaxed sort of action hands. He's got the spread out web crawling hands, like wall crawling and stuff like that. Gripping web hands, and again, just closed fist hands. And we can see that they're all very nice. They've got this lovely sort of glass texture on the back of his hand here, but then you turn it over and he's got sort of like a really nice sort of texture on the inside grip, so it looks like he can actually grip and he's not slipping around. And you've also got the web shooting button just there, and you can actually see that the fingers are pressing down on it when he's actually shooting them out just here, which again is one of those really nice details. He also comes with extra wrist pegs. He also comes with extra swap out eyes. I much prefer these like open bright eyes, because once you actually get the neon light on him or the black light on him, it will sort of light up the eyes more. Okay, on the stand you can see you've got this sort of detailed base. It looks like it's come from the video game, and he actually has these bits that sort of pop out. You can see they've actually painted in the edges here to make it look like it's bursting out of the base. Sadly, it's not super effective in that sort of instance, because you can see that the actual colour does work, but unfortunately this bit around the bottom just, it really sticks out and it doesn't look seamless or anything. It just looks how it looks, which is a couple of bits stuck to the bottom of the base, and that is a bit disappointing, because you would like this to sort of bleed off and be a bit more smooth into this stand. But it does look like it's sort of, they've made the base and then these are sculpted separately and then they're stuck on top, which is a bit of a shame. The details in these claws are fantastic. They do look exactly like they do in the video game. I mean, could they have been more detailed? Yes, but they wouldn't have been screen accurate then. These are exactly how they look in the game, and then when you shine a black light on it, the tips that glow up, these actually do sort of light up under black light. which looks really nice. It is a shame that the other bit of the stand here, I've tested it out. This is a cover for the stand. If you didn't want to put all these little bits on here, which is, if you had the deluxe version, why wouldn't you? If you didn't want this base and wanted to remove all the Doc Ock arms, you could do, and then place this one over the top to hide the holes in the base. But yeah, I've shined a black light on it, but I don't think it does light up, which is a shame, because I couldn't tell anyway if it did light up or not. Maybe it does, but when I tested it, it didn't seem to, which is a shame, because you'd want it all to light up, I think, under black light, because that would just be nice and effective. But yeah, I've seen some people on YouTube and stuff use these and like sort of stick them in here and stuff, and then have them sort of reaching forward and grabbing onto Spider-Man himself, which looks really cool. And it's just a nice creative way. You don't have to stick them in the bottom here if you don't want to. You could have them on in the claw grip or balanced and sort of reaching out and grabbing Spider-Man. However, it does sort of show up that little sort of port in the back there. But, you know, aesthetically wise, as long as you got it facing the right way, you won't really see that. And Spider-Man himself just looks fantastic, just looking at all the details in the suit here. Again, this would have been way too hard to produce in a sort of like a die-cast scale, and they probably wouldn't have sold as many. It is one of those figures then that I suppose they had to make it from a suit sort of layout, not only because that's the sort of process they've got in place, but producing this guy in die-cast may not have yielded the sales that they would have wanted for this guy, plus it would have cost so much more. And yeah, I think they are trying to find the best of both worlds, and this does work in a sort of like a suit form. It does look really nice. You've got this sort of matte textures inside the suit mixed with the glossy textures on the outside panels, with all those sort of little yellow accents going in, dotted around the suit. And he is on a ratcheted body so that you can lock some poses into place, but unfortunately the suit does restrict movement just a little bit. And the detail in the head sculpt looks fantastic, and there's like a slight reddish hue sort of bouncing off it as well. Don't know if that's from the finish or the clear coat they've used, or maybe it's just my lighting, but it does seem to reflect a slightly sort of pearlescent metallic finish all over the panels. And I love that big yellow spider, it just looks really great, stands out. But yeah, when you're moving the figure, he is on ratchets, but you can see it does bunch up and sort of grip bits of it, so you've got to move that stuff around, and it is quite a stiff material. But in terms of Spider-Man, he's not the most poseable, but for aesthetics he looks great. Sadly, there is a bit of a seam you can see going on inside the suit all the way along the bottom here, but that's just par for the course, and I have tried to make it as seamless as possible, but it does show up a little bit. And as you can see, you can put him into some extreme poses, but obviously this sort of pose will put stress on the suit, especially in and around the shoulders here. But the ratchets in the body itself, including the ratcheted torso, does help him keep the pose, which is nice. But you don't want to keep him in this sort of pose for way too long, unless you fancy just leaving it like that and it's never going to get reposed again. But I don't know, just by statues if that's the case. This guy's going to look great glowing under black light, I'm pretty sure of it. But speaking of black lights, and here he is just next to the Neon Tech Iron Man 2.0. And I actually think these guys kind of work really well together, and especially once they're under a black light, I'm pretty sure they're all going to light up and make it look like they've got this sort of black and yellow sort of Avengers team going on. And speaking of Avengers, if someone was so inclined to get some neon yellow paint, they could actually put some neon accents onto this Captain America, the concept art version, and they could in actual fact make themselves a genuine small team of Neon Tech Avengers. I'm not gonna, because it's the only concept art cap I've got, and I don't want to mess it up, so to speak. But if someone's got some actual paint skills, they could actually put some paint accents on this guy just like they did on this guy here, and you could in actual fact have yourself a Neon Tech Avengers team. Hell, just get a Black Widow and put her with some yellow accents on. Boom, you've got yourself a team of 4 right there. And here he is next to the original PS4 suit, and I have to say, standing next to each other, they look fantastic. I'm so glad that I picked up this Antioch guy, because honestly, they do look really good together, and I do like that base. Now, if I had a choice between buying this or this, I would always go with this, simply because That's my favourite suit from the game, and I absolutely love this big white sort of Spider-Man on the chest here, and the red and the blue really work well together. However, this is a second close of my favourite suits from the Spider-Man game. Now, if only they could do the big time Spider-Man, because that's easy money for them, isn't it? That's exactly what they've done here, except with like a green spider and green eyes rather than yellow. It's nothing they haven't done before. I would have thought that would have been a Toy Fair exclusive this year, like the big time Spider-Man, but they went with the cyborg Spider-Man, which was very weird to me. But again, I don't know how popular the suits are. Maybe they've got like information on who played what with what suit and who played for the longest times in what suit and all that kind of stuff. And maybe there's statistics out there that Sony have provided them to tell them the cyborg Spider-Man is actually more of a popular suit that people play in than maybe the big time. Who knows? But as it is, there are some nice Toy Fair exclusives, including another Neon Tech Iron Man, which surprised me because I thought after the War Machine and the fact that they're not selling that well over here that maybe they wouldn't make more of them. I mean, last year they made that sort of transparent, translucent Mark IV, and the logic from that would be, well, then they just do like a different coloured translucent Mark VI like they did with the Neon Tech variants. But it doesn't seem to be the case. I don't know their logic and their thinking, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever they release will probably sell, especially Iron Man in Asia. He sells like hotcakes, even the Neon Techs apparently. So yeah, they're well within their rights to actually make as many Iron Man as they want, because if it keeps making them money, why would you stop? Bit disappointed that we didn't get any extra different variant webs and stuff like that. It is getting a little bit tiresome that we keep getting the same webs over and over again with no variation so that we can change things up. But it's a super small gripe when it comes to these sort of Spider-Man figures, because at least you get some webs. Some Spider-Man figs, like the Marvel Legends, barely ever come with any webbing or anything like that, which is crazy. But yeah, the Anti-Ox suit, it's a really nice variant from the Sony PS4 game. I'd say he's worth a pickup, but definitely go with the deluxe. It feels like a proper release, whereas the bare bones sort of non-deluxe version without the base will feel a little bit possibly underwhelming. I don't know, it depends on your love for it. But me personally, I am glad I got the deluxe version, simply because I learnt my lesson from the Far From Home stealth suit. That figure is a nice figure, but without the base, it really does miss something. Now, some figures just come with a few different accessories, you know, a couple of little accessories that you barely would ever use anyway, and they would just stay in a box. So sometimes, just to save a tiny bit of cash, you might want to go with the non-deluxe version. But recently with the Spider-Man deluxe versions, they've come with a really big sort of elaborate base, and I do think that is actually worth spending the extra money on if you've got the space. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. If you do me a favour now, if you can get the fuck out of my cave, I'm going to put all these figures back on the shelf. Okay guys, bye bye.